When working on the boat, sometimes what seems like a problem is not really a problem at all. The solution to what is wrong has a very simple cause and is not the result of some component failure. So before you start pulling things apart, because some system that was working yesterday is not working today, it is often a good idea to sit back and think about what has changed. This has happened to me a number of times, most recently when I went to winterize Bianca for winter storage. Bianca has a deck fitting that is fed from the washdown pump that comes in very useful when cleaning off the anchor chain. Recently, when I went to winterize this system, I found the boat's washdown pump would not draw any solution from the jug of antifreeze. My first reaction was the 30-year-old washdown pump had finally stopped working. It had been very dependable over the years, but seemed to have finally failed. It looked like I would have to repair or replace it. In its simplest configuration, a boat's washdown system consists of a hull-mounted valve and a hose connected to the washdown pump whose output feeds a deck fitting and the washdown hose. In Bianca's setup, the intake to the washdown pump is fed off a T-fitting, as the hose from the valve also feeds the intake to the head. The washdown system is usually the last item I winterize on Bianca. I do it by disconnecting the hose that feeds the head and connect a hose that sits in a container of antifreeze. Bianca at this point was being stored on land, so the valve that feeds the head intake and the washdown pump is sitting in air and not underwater like it normally would be. The antifreeze hose that was connected to the connector also goes to the valve. I had forgotten to close the valve, so when I turned on the pump it was just sucking air from outside of the hull. Closing the valve would allow the pump to only draw antifreeze from the container. It was a simple solution to what looked like a pump failure. So keep this in mind when some system on board mysteriously stops working. Oftentimes there is a very simple solution that you might have missed.